Hey, Big Brother fans, it's Mike. It is almost 11 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. The house guests moved into the house today. I recorded a TikTok video several hours ago that's almost half an hour long, talking about all the house guests, everything I know. I am just stripping the audio out of that and attaching it to this for the podcast for today. And I'll do another podcast probably tomorrow on the way to the airport with some additional thoughts if I have any new ones. So thank you for your patience. I'm sorry I didn't get this out quicker, but it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy day. So I hope everyone's well, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow.
Greetings, Big Brother fans. It is Mike and BB Gossip, and we're going to talk about the cast reveal that happened earlier today. I'm going to give you a quick download. I am not going to dwell on a ton of this, but I'm going to blow through it real quick. You're welcome to go online and dig up the rest of it. I want to give you a few bullet points as I can. Hopefully keep this under 10 minutes. So what can we tell you about the house guest? The reveal went live at noon on the Big Brother Gossip, or the Big Brother Gossip, on the Big Brother YouTube site. And I was watching it from my Twitch account, and I streamed it while I watched it. And there were some people that joined me. We watched the entire thing. Julie did a house tour. We'd seen most of it before. And then she presented, then they rolled the interviews. Now they rolled the cast reveal where we got to meet each house guest, and they talked for a good 3, 4, 5 minutes about themselves. But honestly, it was all very canned answers, very stilted. I didn't learn much of anything from them. I was kind of half paying attention, but I do have the list. I'm going to read off of Sharon Tharp's list that she posted to Blue Sky, where she's got the name, the age, where they're from, their occupation. I'm not going to do pictures. We're just going to blast through this. We will talk about the 14 house guests that they showed us today, and then we'll talk about the additional 3 house guests that we have found out about since then. At least 2 of the 3 are definitely positive, and the last one is pretty darn sure. I'm fairly convinced, but it hasn't been official unless you believe the rumored site that's put it out there, but I'm going with it. So let's get to it, all right? Okay, so 14 house guests. The first of all, for some reason they slipped one of the celebrity house guests, celebrities, this is a vertical medium, into this list of 14, and that would be, we'll get to him, but when we get to Jason, he was slipped in there, but we're going to go alphabetical by first name. By the way, the letters almost completely matched the ones that Dingo had released. There was a couple of changes at the last minute. She removed an S and threw in a T, and then when it was being revealed, an L was gone and a Y was added. We'll get to those in the list, but just bear in mind, it was almost right, and there were actually apparently some last minute changes in the cast. So first up, Ashley Trail, age 24, from Alton, Illinois. She's in Chicago, Illinois, and a bartender. She was the first one. She talked for quite a while. I don't know. She kind of reminded me in a very slight way of Jen Johnson from Big Brother 8. She's not like her. It was something in the shape of her face and the way she talked that kind of reminded me of that. But she's not a Jen Johnson by any means. Jen was her own unique person. So that's Ashley, first one. Second one, and for me, the most important one, and we will dwell a little bit on this. We'll spend a little bit of time here. Barrett Pfeiffer, age 27, listed hometown, Benton, Arizona, current city, Austin, Texas, and it says he's a Jumbotron engineer. Okay, but Barrett also, apparently, he's a Big Brother fan. He's a reality TV fan. He's a gamer. He's 6'6", curly hair, glasses, has a mustache and a bit of a scruffy shave on the side. But the interesting thing was, and you can go back and watch this if you go to my Twitch stream. If you go back to my Twitch stream and watch today's Twitch stream, when they were doing this, into my chat pops the gentleman whose online personal name is Nick City. Nick is a person that I played Sequester with. I'm sure we played a game together back in 2020. And so I've known Nick since 2020. And I met Nick 2 years ago at the first New York City premiere that I went to. And I saw him again this past year. And as it turns out, this past year, Nick pops into this chat, this Twitch chat today, and he announces to me, he says, Mike, Barrett, you met Barrett. I'm like, what? He's like, you met Barrett. I introduced you to Barrett at the premiere show. And I'm like, too many people. But I'm like, whoa, okay. So I actually met one of the house guests. I've met Barrett. He was at last year's premiere party in New York, so he's a Big Brother fan, folks. He's my number. I'm cheering for this guy. I want him to do awesome. He also, what I understand is he's played online reality games. He's a gamer. He's done all kinds of things. I saw some other chat where maybe he went and back in the day, they found where what's her name was being Raven was being, her video was being taped, and so they spoiled her getting cast. I don't know. Whatever. I'm okay. Seems like a fun guy. If Nick is his friend, and Nick and him do a podcast together, I linked to one of their podcasts, the Survivor podcast and something else, and another gentleman. So active. He's on Blue Sky. He's the only one I know about so far that's on Blue Sky. He doesn't follow me, but that's okay. I'll forgive him for that. Anyways, he's out there. That's very cool. I'm very psyched about him. So that was my highlight of the thing was finding out that I actually met this guy. And by the way, I went back to my pictures that I took last year in New York, and I found a picture of him talking to Nick that I took. You can only see the back of his head, but I'm like, that's Nick. And same hair, and I'm like, and I posted, is this him? And he said yes. And then also Ethanamel, which some of you may know, who was also at that thing, also jumped in and confirmed that it indeed is Barrett, because he knows Barrett. So very cool stuff. All right. So we have that. And then we go to the next one, and I am looking, and where is my thread? I'm sorry. Okay. So there we go. Next up is Chuck Enyanwu, spelled C-H-U-K. Chuck is from Dallas, Texas. He's got a cowboy hat on. He's a big, muscular guy, and he's a supply chain analyst. Occupations generally don't mean a whole lot. He seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like, okay, I don't know. He could be a bro. I don't know where he falls into the bro-veal, right? I don't know where he falls in, but he seemed not horrible. How's that? I don't know. I just don't have a sense for him. It was kind of like I was probably still freaking out over the Barrett thing at the time that Chuck came by, right? Next up is Drew Campbell. Drew is 22. He's from Temecula, California, surgical dental assistant. Drew, it turns out, has been on a bunch of Jubilee videos. And if you know what Jubilee videos are, you know. And if you don't, just Google Jubilee on YouTube and you'll see these videos. And apparently also was on season 1 of Beast Games. I don't know how he did. That starts with like 500 people, so he may have only lasted 10 minutes. But he apparently was on Beast Games season 1. So that was an interesting little twist. He's got his hair's puffed up, and he talks about his hair. I don't know. He'll be interesting. I'm not sure. Young guy. Next up, Haley Throgmartin. Throgmartin. Listed age 29. She is 29, by the way. I say listed age. Neosho, Missouri, currently in Wildwood, Missouri. Telemedicine executive. I don't know. One of my friends on Blue Sky did some digging and found that she played softball for, I don't know which college or where she played, but she's probably an athlete. I thought she was older than 29 based on her, just the way she appears on camera, but she's 29. So I'm guessing she's an athlete. And the telemedicine executive, it looks like it may be alternative medicine, if you know that world. So it should be interesting to see how she presents her what she says, tells people she's doing or whatever, or if she's having, alternative medicine talk in the house. I don't know. It could go one of a couple of different ways. We'll have to see what happens. Next up, Jason Depew. This is Serena, right? Serena, whatever Jason's drag queen name is, who's been on. Did he win his season of Drag Race? But he's been on Drag Race. He presented completely as his male form, not his drag self. Got big, huge hair, curly hair. I know at some point they're going to get him to put on drag and come out, but he talked about not having to be in drag and enjoying that option. So on the one, I don't think we're going to see him in drag much, but I bet one night within the first week or two, he'll do the whole drag bit and they'll make a whole segment of it on the show. Whatever. I don't care. He can do whatever he wants to do. He seems interesting. He seems fun. He's done a reality show before. He knows how to put on a good show. I'm sure he'll be interesting. As long as he is not over the top, kissing up to the cameras, and he's being himself, that is the biggest criteria I have with it when it comes to that. Okay. Next up is Kamula Kirk, 32 years old from Phoenix, Arizona. Listed occupation is MMA fighter. He looks to me like I said when I first saw it, it was a cross between Paul and who else did I say it was? I can't even remember who the other person I said it was, but he's got a beard. He's got his whole upper torso is tattooed. Um, I don't know what it means. Does it mean I just don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how there's an issue here where you get the bros, the ones that are just super masculine, super dominant, and he could give that vibes. He could also be a super cool guy that doesn't give that over broy kind of a thing. So we'll just have to see. Next up, Latrice Verrett. Latrice is the oldest person on this season. She is 57 years old. I thought maybe she said almost 58, but it says 57 on the bio. Originally from Kankakee, Illinois, which is actually not too far from me, but she currently lives in Maplewood, New Jersey, and it says she's a boutique salesperson. Don't know. She was very spunky, very positive, very cool. I'm excited. I hope she does well. I hope she doesn't get pigeonholed as the mom of the house and she can play her game. But she's also sounds like she's very fit. Sounds like she's very fit and very active. So that could be good for her. Next up, Lyric Medeiros. 25 years old from Honolulu, Hawaii. Listed occupation is an attorney. Her father had a big hit in the 80s, had a couple of big hits, and I can't tell you the name of the song right now. I had it written down. Doesn't matter. He went on after his little small window of fame to get his PhD and all kinds of stuff. And obviously she's got the education. She also was on American Idol, I think a couple of years ago, trying out. She didn't make it. She may have made it to Hollywood. I think she made it out of Hawaii and into Hollywood. I don't follow American Idol anymore, but she didn't get much further than that, right? So they showed a clip of her, I went and looked up online. We saw a clip of it online. Someone shared it, so we saw that. So if you Google her name, American Idol, you can probably find the clip of her singing in front of the judges and such. So again, these people, she presented herself fine, very knowledgeable. If she's an attorney, like she says she is, she's going to be a sharp cookie and probably very good. Lest we forget that last year's winner is an attorney as well, right? The next up is Mallory Orichio, 24 years old from New Jersey, township of Washington, New Jersey, and her occupation says rocket scientist, which annoys the heck out of me because what she said was she either said she was an aeronautical engineer or an aerospace engineer. And either one could be considered a rocket scientist. My brother is an aeronautical engineer and he's in the space industry. And so when I see them, I consider that dumbing down the title by saying rocket scientist, but it plays better on TV, doesn't it? Anyways, she comes across, everyone's first reaction in the chat room as I was watching was Kelly. It's Kelly. It's Kelly. Yeah, she kind of looks like Kelly, but I almost feel like they told her to put on the glasses and they made her put on the glasses and they made her pull her hair forward so she looks like Kelly. Very annoying. She then showed a shot of her without her glasses on, wearing some kind of a leotard like she works out. Again, I was only half paying attention to a lot of these videos because they just weren't saying anything that was grabbing my attention and we were chatting about it. But I'm hopeful. I don't think she's Kelly. I don't think she's a Kelly type. I think she kind of looks like Kelly, but I don't think she's going to play like Kelly. So we'll have to see. Another person, speaking of someone that looks like last year, Melody Morris, 24 years old from Thornton, Colorado, currently in Maricopa, Arizona. And I'm sorry, while I click these replies, my timeline is completely blown up right now with people chatting about stuff. She's listed as a corporate game show host. So I know someone online said, what is a corporate game show host? I would guess that she works for a company that goes to corporate events and conducts fun things to do, right? Instead of a comedian coming in and doing something, they do a game show and they haul up people from the different parts of the different departments and have them play this game. And it's a thing. That's what I'm guessing she does. And so who she reminded me of immediately, and other people as well, was Catherine from last season. She kind of has just the blonde hair, part of the center, the face is about the same shape. I don't know if she's anything like Catherine, and it's unfair to pigeonhole her, but you know what? We're forced to do that because they make them look similar. So we'll see. Didn't get any bad vibes from her. We'll just have to see. I felt she was a little bit too serious. She seemed to be like, hey, look, I'm fun. But when she was talking in the interview, she was very kind of like straight and not fun. And then it'd be like, try to be fun and be like, ooh, okay, you get it. I think we've got a couple more here, right? So we've got the next one I have on my list is Rome Seymour. Rome, when his name popped up for a half a second, I was like, there's a Rome on Survivor. It's like, oh my gosh, Rome from Survivor. And then his face popped up. They put up the name first, just said Rome, and then his face popped up. I was like, well, this is not Rome from Survivor. 20 years old, 28 years old, Traverse City, Michigan. Delray Beach, Florida is his current city, and his occupation says pickleball coach. That's a job. I don't know. It just immediately gave the vibes of Jimmy last year saying he was a tennis coach, right? When he wasn't just a tennis coach. So I don't know what he really does. I don't remember if he said if he did anything different again for fast things. He comes across with the bro vibe too, right? He actually made comments about betas and submissive. I don't. He was throwing around some words that are really going to annoy some people if that is how he truly is. Yeah, he could come across as a bit icky. He may be really disliked by a lot of the fan base. He may be loved by some of the fan base too. Probably will be, but I don't know. We'll see. He could also be in the middle of a showmance by the time the feeds kick on, right? That'll be like, oh, look. We'll see what happens because they are moving in the house. They are in the house for sure by now. It is almost 7 o'clock in the East Coast, so it is 4 o'clock out there. They may have even started ahead of household competition by now, right? Okay, so next person. This is one of those people that got added late. Taylor Brown, 27 years old, from Deerfield Beach, Florida, elementary school counselor. She seemed nice. She was a last-minute addition. It sounds like the S person was replaced by her. We don't have any information on the S person, whoever the S person was, on the list that we got from Hamster Watch. So they had an S, and then they said, nope, change it to a T. So that's, again, not necessarily no bad vibes. Nothing stuck out, but just, okay, here's a person who seems okay. And then finally, we have a gentleman named Yash. It's Yash, or I think it's Yash Patel, 24 years old, Monroe Township, New Jersey, financial analyst. Now, wait a minute. Let me scroll up here. Who else from New Jersey? Mallory's from New Jersey. And Latrice is from New Jersey. We got 3 people from New Jersey. Is that it? We're going to scroll all the way through here. You're going to have to deal with me while I do this real quick. Texas, no. Okay, just 3. 3 people from New Jersey. So Yash is from Monroe Township, New Jersey, and he's listed as a financial analyst. And he also rubbed some people the wrong way with some of the things he said. So we'll have to see what happens. But he, in theory, is another last-minute alternate for someone whose first name started with the letter L. And we don't know why. We know that person's name, Levi. We don't know why Levi didn't make the show. We're actually trying to find out. People are reaching out to people who, in theory, know Levi. So maybe we'll hear about Levi. We don't know who the S was, but we may find out what happened with the L, just for curiosity's sake. So that's the entire cast of, quote, newbies and Jason thrown in. Then you add in the 3 people that we didn't see announced today, and they're supposedly going to be introduced. I don't know if they're going to be introduced on, I don't remember if they're going to be used on Unlocked or if they're going to be introduced on the show, but we do know officially that Angela from Big Brother 26 is going to be on. That was Sharon Tharp announced that. And so Angela is going to be on. That is the one Big Brother alumni that we know of that's going to be on, and probably the one. Now, they may bring back other Big Brother alumni to kind of come and do shows like I talked about, but the one that's going to come in is Angela. And then we have the letter D that hadn't been filled in. But let's skip that for 1 second, and we'll go to the letter R that got filled in. And R, we were told by Ross Dalton Ross from Entertainment Weekly, is Rick Devens from Survivor. If you don't know who Rick Devens is from Survivor, then you should look it up. But Rick Devens is a huge Survivor character. He's been on more than one season, and was just on 50, as a matter of fact. He did like a coin flip and all this kind of stuff. I didn't watch Survivor 50, but I know enough from reading. So Rick is going to be on it. That will be interesting. It will be interesting to see that. If he's going to be in the whole, I mean, are these people coming in for the whole season? I mean, I'm just in shock that any Survivor contestant would sign up for an entire season of Big Brother, knowing what's involved. In theory, if they talked to Suri and said, "Hey, is this a good idea?" Because she would have said, "I ain't doing it anymore. That was too long. That was just way too long and too hard." But they're doing what they're doing. The other person who technically isn't super isn't confirmed. What is it? Who's the website that did it? I have to click here for 1 second here. So InsideSurvivor.com has posted today that D, and it was a name we'd been hearing, right? We have been hearing that D Valadares, is that how you say her name? She won season 45, that she is also on Big Brother. Now, this one is coming from a website, not from an official news outlet. But Dee's name has been being thrown around for the last 4 or 5 days. Everyone seems to think she's going to be on. And then to have this site come out and say it. And I was told by somebody that they are a known good source for spoilers and stuff. And so if they say that she's going to be on, that she's going to be on. So we're gonna run with it. And if I'm wrong, I'll take the hit, but I do believe that D is going to be on it based on that information. So that is your 17 players, right? That is the 14 that were shown today on the video. And again, you can go to the CBS Big Brother site on YouTube if you want to watch their interviews. And then also on Pluto TV, they're doing stuff. There's all kinds of stuff out there right now. And then the 3 others that we just talked about, I'm assuming, but we don't know for sure, that all of them are moving in today. Maybe some of them, maybe they held back a couple of them. Don't know. We don't know how that's going to work. But either way, at least a good chunk of them moved in today. The feeds are going to go live on Friday. We're going to have the premiere Thursday night, 90-minute premiere. And then 24 hours later, roughly, there's going to be the unlocked. And where maybe that's when they'll introduce a couple that didn't get introduced on the premiere. But we know all the names now, right? We know all the names. Not everybody does, maybe. And then they'll run the live feeds. They are going to show at least a portion of the live feeds on YouTube, but it's also going to be on the normal venues. And they're just trying to get people lured in, right? They're just trying to get them lured in, is what I think. And so that's all going to go on. There's going to be some kind of a vote thing going on, we think, on Friday. This is all whatever. All you care about is the cast. We got the cast. We got this. Go out, go forth, read, chat, do everything. I may be back online on Twitch again tonight to talk about it. We'll see. If not, tomorrow I am traveling to New York City, and I don't know if I will be around. I may pop on for a quick second. And then Thursday night, I will be checking in from the New York City premiere party in some capacity. So keep an eye. If you do not follow me on Twitch, I would strongly ask that you consider going to Twitch and looking for BB Gossip and following me, setting alerts, because if I do go live at any point from the premiere, that's the account it's going to be on. And I'm also hoping to talk to alumni. There's going to be lots of alumni there. I hope to catch all of them. If I can catch Nick City, and Nick told me he's going to be there, if I can catch Nick, I'm going to say, Nick, tell me about your friend, Barrett, and we'll get some inside information about Barrett as well. We'll see who all I can grab while I'm there. It should be a good time. All right. Thanks again. For those of you that stuck through this, we're at 24 minutes. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.